Welcome to Nerdschatting, movie, TV, comic chat. Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome everybody to the Nerdschatting podcast. My name is Nathan, and with me, as ever, are my two very good friends, Ben and JB. Hello, boys.
Hi.
That's how we're doing it from now on. That's we've now got into a rhythm. That's now it. You're my two friends, and I ask you how you are, and I call you boys, and then you both say it at the same time.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you always go JB and Ben, or Ben and JB?
I don't know.
I think alphabetically,
I do.
Ben is before.
I also
JB.
mix it up with Nathan and Nate. Sometimes I'm Nate, and sometimes I'm Nathan. But...
Oh, is that one you want
Just
to
like
do
to
more?
keep the listeners guessing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Who the hell is this speaking right now?
They're
Yeah.
on their toes as we speak.
Yeah. So welcome to the Nerdschatting podcast. We talk about all things movies, TV shows, and comic books, and all things nerdy. You've changed our Twitter handle, even though you said that I said not to, and you've done it.
Don't know what you're talking about. Move on.
Okay, cool.
Well, this has escalated
Yeah,
already.
yeah. So this week, Deadpool 2 came out, and you guys are going to tell me what you thought of it. But before that, should we do some broken news?
No.
Oh,
First things first, just rewind a second. You know that thing you just said? I've changed our Twitter handle and
Yeah,
you didn't
yeah.
okay it.
Yeah.
Since I've changed our Twitter handle, we've picked up a plethora of new followers. So, number one, up your dick, mate. And number two, hello to the new followers.
oh my!
And now we can do broken news.
Well, I'm glad we've breached the up your dick, mate moment of the podcast.
Can I just say that before Nate came in, he said we're going to do a much more professional podcast today.
and I've ruined it.
You
Yeah.
smashed it within 5 minutes.
Yeah, thanks,
Brilliant.
mate. Thank you. Yeah.
Nice one. Well
Right.
done, you.
Broken news.
Broken news.
So this is news that's so old it's not breaking, it's already broken. Some of it's fairly new though. First thing we've got in here is the Mowgli trailer. So this is the new version of the Jungle Book. We knew it was coming. The Jungle Book is it's what's it called when it's outside of copyright law? It's outside copyright law.
It's so old that anyone it's
Yeah,
like
so
copyright now.
so Rudyard Kipling wrote it. I think it's 100 years. I think copyright law is 100
Is
years.
it?
I believe it's something like that.
Wow.
Someone is screaming at me right now that I'm wrong, but so things like John Carter is John Carter? Yeah, John Carter of Mars.
Yeah.
That's all Edgar Rice Burroughs, and he wrote that in I think it was the 1914 or something, or 1913 or
I thought
something.
it was the 1800s.
No, it was maybe, but it was very, very early, and so that's why they could make that into a film. And,
Who am I to know when Edgar Rice Burroughs was writing stories?
If only there was some tool.
way, yeah.
So anyway, sticking with Mowgli.
Yeah.
So this we've known this was coming in a while. When Jon Favreau released the Disney version of the Jungle Book, 2016.
Might be.
Let's say it was. Let's
Yeah.
back ourselves. We knew this was coming. Andy Serkis is the director of it. It's
Colin is the director. Wow.
yeah, I know.
Has he done anything
Yeah,
else?
he's a very talented man.
Isn't he just?
Andy Serkis, has he done anything else? If only the internet was working.
You don't know off the top of your head,
Let's
Ben?
say yes, back ourselves, and move on as if no one knows
We've
any
got
different.
2 credits in director is Mowgli, completed, and Breathe.
Oh, wow.
Breathe is something else.
I bet
An
it's a
inspiring true story of
Ah.
Robin and Diana Cavendish, an adventurous couple who refuse to give up in the face of devastating disease. Their heartwarming celebration of human possibility marks the directorial debut of Andy Serkis, and that was back in 2017.
Okay.
7.1 out of 10 on IMDb. Apparently it's quite good. Should we stick with Mowgli, though?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it's for all intents and purposes, it looks exactly the same as Jon Favreau's Jungle Book, just a little bit darker.
Less musical numbers. I've
Yeah, but-
not seen Jon Favreau's Jungle Book.
Oh well, you can't get much less musical numbers. There were it skimmed the surface of musical numbers. It's not really a musical at all.
Is Bill Murray coming back as Baloo the bear?
No, none of the cast from that are coming.
No, it's... I looked this up. I saw it yesterday.
It's Andy Serkis playing Baloo.
Yeah.
And it's Benedict Cumberbatch as Shere Khan, Kate Blanchett as Kaa the snake, Christian Bale as Bagheera, the panther.
I'm aware
Peter
of Bagheera's.
Mullen, who as Arkela, so on and so forth. Arkela is the head of the wolves. Do you not know this from being a Cub Scout? You know Dib Dib Dob Dob Arkela?
No.
So Dib Dib
I was
Dob
never a
Dob
Cub.
is what the Cubs
Or a
say. Do you know that's an acronym?
No.
Do your best, do our best. So Arkela would stand at the front and say Dib Dib, and the Scouts would go Dob Dob. So she's saying do your best, and they're saying we'll do our best. There you go. fact for you.
Oh.
Can I just say, I am having a fantastic education
That's a
today.
lovely fact.
I don't know how long it's going to stay in my brain before
Yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, so Arkela's the head of the wolf pack, which is Mowgli was one of the wolves in the wolf
And
pack.
Arcada was the wolf pack dad leader.
Yes, I believe so. Yes,
Yeah, sure,
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, he knew he had to get in the cartoon from the 70s. He knew his son in air quotes,
His man cub son.
his man cub son had to go because Shere Khan had returned to the jungle and would surely kill the boy.
You've got people like Naomi Harris, Tom Hollander, Jack Rayner, those sorts of people, like those up and coming big names that are not yet quite big.
Now, you know, the other week we talked about the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah,
This is one of my things.
yeah,
I don't like these.
yeah.
Live action animals talking movies. They tickle my foibles.
JB, what have you got?
I don't mind the animals in the Uncanny Valley, to be honest. It's a bit weird, but it doesn't make me feel like the human one. I'm going to link into... Have you watched the Silicon Valley where they've got the robot Fiona yet?
Yes.
Now, that was freaky.
Yes, I do believe in some parts as well that actually wasn't a robot, it was actually a human person.
Well, I thought that as well. Sometimes it was like, and then it was sometimes like, oh, yeah?
I perfectly understood what he meant by
Yeah,
those
yeah,
voices.
yeah, yeah. It was Tim Allen Tool Time or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it-
Yeah.
I am in the middle of both of you on this one because I remember when Jungle Book came out, we spoke about this, and I don't mind the animals at all. And when the animals talk, I don't mind it at all. My problem is when they stand next to the human. So I believe the animals. They look cool, they look right, they look appropriate. But then you put an actual human next to them and you go, oh no, they're CGI.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah. I'm not on board for this film. I thought the trailer looked fine. It's a film that I won't watch.
It's a PG-13, which means it'll be a little bit rough and tumble.
Be a 12A over here, then, I think. Yeah.
And
I won't watch it.
I'm just going to sound a little bit stupid again. How does this link into the Jungle Book?
it doesn't. It's just a retelling.
Again?
Yeah.
So-
Because it's out of copyright.
Is it not a sequel?
No.
It's not a sequel to the Jungle Book.
No.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
100%?
I'm thinking off the top of my head, I think it's the story follows the upbringing of the human child Mowgli, raised by a pack of wolves in the jungles of India, as he learns the often harsh rules of the jungle under the tutelage of a bear named Baloo and a panther.
A panther.
A panther. Oh, yeah. Mowgli becomes accepted by the animals of the jungle as one of their own, except by one, the fearsome tiger. Guess
Shere
what?
Khan.
Yeah, you
Shere
got it.
Khan,
Okay,
yeah,
right.
But there may be greater
Oh.
dangers lurking in the jungle as Mowgli becomes face to face with his human origins. That was just off the top of my head.
Right, yeah. I mean,
I just was
it sounded so professional.
Didn't say
though, I
on
know.
IMDb or Wikipedia
No,
at all.
no.
Okay.
But it's the story. It's Roger Kipling's story of the Jungle Book because Disney's story of the Jungle Book is ever so slightly different. It's tweaked.
Okay, here's my beef. What's the point?
I was about to say that. I don't know why it exists.
We've just had a live action Jungle Book. What's the point in doing this 2 years later? There is no point. I really didn't want to be negative on this podcast, but
It's unusual for you to be negative as well.
Yeah.
I'll
I
be
don't,
honest.
I don't see the reason behind this.
It's Warner Brothers. So if you want to get real technical, it's the Disney, Warner Brother, Marvel, DC battle.
Who's got the biggest dick off?
Wow, you are all about male genitalia today, Benjamin.
so
and the
sorry.
two of us are looking at you with disdain.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna.
Feels like love in your eyes.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh my
Whatever.
God. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Ben. I don't really get this film. I mean, if it's going to centre... I mean, the Jungle Book centres around Mowgli
Yes.
Yeah.
and how he becomes friends with the animals.
Yeah.
And then,
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what's this film doing then? That's any different to
It's
It's the
live
same.
action retelling the exact same story that we've just had 2 years ago and
Brilliant.
in the 70s.
So my problem
Wow.
with it, again, I'm like you, what's the point?
Mm.
But my problem is, what's the point when it looks so much like the Disney version? I mean, it's not. If it was doing something different, then cool. You know, great. Oh, you put a twist on it. Okay, like yeah, it's called Mowgli. Okay, I get it. You know, you've changed it. But no, it's just the Jungle Book by another name, looking exactly the same.
So Benedict
was a rhyme.
Cumberbatch is voicing Shere Khan.
Yes, and he has a poorly paw in this, doesn't he?
Now
saw him
that
dragging
I
it.
did actually like because I heard it and I was like, oh, what's that? And then I saw it and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
So it gives him a hook, right? It gives
Sure.
it's a thing, not an actual hook. It's not like Captain Hook.
But Benedict Cucumber Snatch,
Yeah.
Batch, whatever you want to call him, Cucumber Sandwich, has voiced several baddies in these sorts of movies. So Shere Khan,
Smaug,
and I'm out.
Okay.
I'm sure he's voiced something else.
Okay.
I'm sure he's voiced something else.
hang on. If only we had some way of looking it up.
Oh, he was in that Penguins of Madagascar where he called the penguins penguins.
I do really love the
Yes.
Penguins of Madagascar as well. I think they're so funny.
But he wasn't a baddie in that, I don't think.
No.
But it doesn't matter what he was.
No. Have you seen The Imitation Game that he was in? Where plays Alan Turing?
Yes, it's
really good.
Very good.
It's really good.
And he's very good in it.
It's one of his best performances, and yet I think it gets overshadowed by all his big CGI-ness. Anyway, we've tangented.
We've lingered on this topic for way too long.
Shall we do a really quick bit of news?
Sure.
And this is 2 bits of news that really are that make us go, well, duh.
Okay.
So this is Captain Marvel.
Yes.
The producer Nate Moore, good name,
average.
has
I like
said
the second part of his name.
Stands out.
Thanks.
he's kind of I think it's just PR hype trains running up, basically.
Sure.
He said that the origin story for Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel is an origin story, will have a twist on the origin story. So it's he said he's subversing the genre. So, for instance, Captain Marvel is an origin movie that you haven't seen before, and we think we've stumbled upon a structure there that isn't the traditional structure of what origin movies typically are, which is you meet the character, they have a problem, they get the powers at the end of the first act, and then the second act they learn about their powers. The third act is probably fighting a villain. That's not going to be the structure.
That is the MCU paint by numbers origin for our heroes story.
So Kevin Feige's already said this is going to be a unique and inspiring origin story. It's going to be subversing the origin structure. What I hope they're saying is that minute 1 of Captain Marvel, she'll be Captain Marvel, and then we can have flashbacks throughout.
I'm going to sneeze.
You know what it should be?
No, you're going to sneeze like a man?
No, it's gone. It's gone.
It should just be the Batman Begins origin, because that's not an origin movie. He's Batman.
He is Batman. I've totally forgotten that Batman Begins.
It starts in some Oriental country, which is undisclosed.
It starts sort of midway through his journey.
Yeah.
His journeys abroad.
He gets beaten up in a prison.
That's right.
And then Liam Neeson comes and says, hey, you should be like a ninja.
You should be like a ninja in the League of Shadows.
Yeah, and then flashback, flash forward, flashback, flash forward. And
yeah,
then...
let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I want that. I want this film now.
But I want that, but a bit further on when we start. Be Captain Marvel.
Be Captain Marvel, and then flash back to becoming initially Captain Marvel, then flash back to...
Yeah.
Before she got her powers.
How can you rewrite origin movies?
I know that's what I'm saying. That's the only way to do it is to start in the middle and then have a couple of flashbacks along the way. But the main story is in the middle.
Well, this is why Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, Iron Man. It's about it, I think, actually, for the MCU, isn't it?
They're the only films in the MCU.
Yeah, that's it. Those are all the MCU films. But those origin stories are literally Doctor Strange and Ant-Man are pretty much a template of the Iron Man movie structure. Like Nate said, they get their powers at the end of the first act. Yeah. In the second act, they sort of learn to use their powers. In the third act, they fight someone with sort of a similar power set.
Yeah,
that's pretty much those movies.
Yeah.
So to do something different, yes, I'm on board. Give it to me now.
The other bit of news with this is that Clark Gregg
Coulson.
Is it Clark Gregg?
Sure.
He's got 2 first names, which is just troubling.
Weird, isn't it?
It's either Clark Gregg or it's Greg Clark.
Yeah.
Or it's Agent Phil Coulson.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the first.
Basically, again, more hype train nonsense. Is like, Agent Coulson's going to be early in S.H.I.E.L.D. It's going to be he's going to be a recruit, a rookie, like
the new guy.
Yeah, we know it's set in the 90s.
Makes sense.
Like, yeah, okay.
I like him.
I like him as well, but you don't need to tell us that.
Is
other than
very
hype
good
train.
I have 2 questions about it though.
Go for it.
Are they going to digitally de-age him?
No.
Are they going to make him wear a wig?
It's a wig, because Samuel L. Jackson has grown his hair out and has chubbied up a bit, I think, to be young Nick Fury, and taken his eye patch off.
Chubbied up a little bit. I take umbrage with that statement.
No, but he has, because he's quite a slim guy.
He's bulked up. Let's just say he's bulked up.
I don't know if he's bulked.
I don't know
if he's bulked.
Sorry, who's bulking up?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Not Agent Phil Coulson.
Okay, I was going to say.
So he's going to be wearing a wig, right?
Yeah, okay.
I cannot wait to see that wig on the screen.
He might also beard.
Oh yeah, beard. Yeah,
beards are good.
Yeah,
beards weren't really in the 90s though. Beards were not in the 90s.
But then I don't think Agent Coulson was cool in the 90s. I think Agent Coulson was. I don't think he's a cool guy. Do you think he's cool? Like, he's kind of cool now, But I think as a person, he probably wouldn't have been very cool.
I've always liked
cool.
him.
You know, like Friends cool. He wouldn't have been Joey. He'd have been Ross.
Okay,
Ross isn't cool, right?
I think it depends on who you ask.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
He's not cool, though. You're absolutely
Are we going to pull it back?
Yeah. Okay. So Captain Marvel.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, great, good.
Yes, can't wait. March 2019.
Is it that far away?
Yeah.
I thought it was
That's
this year.
not that far away, mate. It's almost June.
Yeah, that's
Not long
It's like 9 months.
Not long till Christmas.
Exactly. Boom.
Brilliant.
2018 wrap up.
not long to my holiday. Yes, cannot wait. Counting the days down.
And we can't wait either.
Oh, you.
We do what we want.
Horrid person, you.
Basically, we're going to just sit here and smash buttons until something comes onto that thing. Yeah, it'll be terrible.
It's not recording.
It's recording. We know how it works.
It's going to be the best pods ever.
I'm gonna call in. I'm gonna do a weekly call in. My update.
How? We'll have our phones off.
You'll have to record it and then just like plug it in at some point.
Disagree.
Moving on.
Next bit of news.
Yes.
There's a trailer for the. You two are in sync today, aren't you?
Yes.
The trailer for the Happytime Murders. TV show?
No, I remember.
Or is it a movie? It's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a movie. No, it's a movie. No, it's a TV show. It doesn't matter. I'm sure it's a movie.
Oh my goodness.
It's a red band trailer. It's definitely a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie. I'm confident it's a movie.
Yes, it is a movie. But it's directed by Brian Henson, so it is actually a Muppet movie.
Yes.
It's the Muppets. It starts out really funny, and by the middle, and then very much at the end, in my opinion, is grotesque and not funny.
So,
wow.
From what you're saying is you don't want to see a Muppet ejaculating all over the place.
I want to see something like Avenue... Yeah, exactly.
You've not seen this trailer?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you need to watch this trailer.
The
lights are just enough. I've got to turn the lights on because the blinds are closed.
Okay. We won't pause it. We'll just...
they started when I stood up.
Yeah,
I'm back now. Okay.
Yeah, it's great radio.
I like the idea of like Avenue Q. I'd really like to see Avenue Q. I hear it's very funny, where you have some very sweary Muppety type characters.
That sort of live in the real world.
Yeah. I just think this is a bit too much.
This does look like it's taking what could be a very interesting premise. See, I thought a noir thriller, like a crime comedy thriller with Muppets in it, would be quite fun. This just looks like it's going for the sort of what do I want to say? Almost like the laughs that American Pie movie would be.
Yeah. It's lowest common denominator jokes. It's the Agent Campbell guy. Is it him? Or, who's Joel McHale from
that program?
Me. Where he goes to college? I can't remember
Community.
his name. Community. Thank you. It's just so it's so over the top.
Yes, listen. I was hyped for this. I think this trailer is a poorly put together trailer. I don't think this is a complete representation of what the movie's going to be like. At least I hope it isn't, because from this, I'm not going to tune in.
No, I won't go and see it.
I was psyched when I heard about this.
Yeah.
And this does not look like I'm going to enjoy it. I think my son would enjoy it, and I think a lot of people that enjoyed the Deadpool movies are probably going to enjoy it.
I was going to say this sounds
spoiler just there, maybe for later on.
Have you seen it, JB? Have you seen the trailer?
I haven't, but I've just looked at the poster. I do like the line at the start. No sesame. All street.
Yeah, it's got so much potential.
I'm waiting for Big Bird to just rock up, firing all guns.
But that's it. It's got potential.
Addict Big Bird or something like
Grouch
that.
Would be.
Well, hang on a second. Let me just pause it 2 seconds. So you've just watched it.
Yep. I won't go see it.
It's over the top, right?
It's too much.
Yeah.
But it might be because it's too much because I remember the Muppets when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I think of the Muppet Christmas Carol, and I did weep a little bit when Michael Caine kicks a rabbit.
Yeah.
That's harsh.
Yeah.
I think it's actually a poorly put together trailer. I don't think the film is going to be anywhere near as bad as that. At least, again, I hope it isn't.
Wow.
It's such a shame because it could be... do you know what I mean? We were saying about it being an interesting concept. It could be like a gritty Muppets. That would be interesting.
Yeah, but they've just gone for the most grotesque.
Yeah.
And
gritty comedy Muppets.
Yeah, you've said it. They've just gone for like you said. Do we need to see
silly string ejaculation?
Yes, yeah, nice, very well put. Thanks.
Have we missed a bit of news here about Spider-Man: Homecoming 2? Or are we going to just skip that because it's not really news yet?
Oh, I just missed a bit of news. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So the next bit of news is.
Are we moving on? Are we?
Yeah, I think so. What more do you want to say about it? It doesn't look great. It looks a bit grotesque. None of us really going to be keen to see it.
Hang on. No, I got nothing. No. Right, the next bit of news. Supposedly, Jake Gyllenhaal is being eyed up, or is eyeing up, the role of Mysterio in the Spider-Man Homecoming sequel. Thoughts?
My thoughts are that is a great bit of news, and if it's true, we will finally get Jake Gyllenhaal in a superhero movie, because he's circled them several times in the past, and we've not seen Mysterio on the screen before, and it could be a very interesting take on a character that everyone thinks is a bit of a joke, really, from the comic books. And if someone could play it with menace, Jake bloody Gyllenhaal can play it with menace.
Gyllenhaal?
Yes.
Not sure.
It's one of those.
Yes. Right, brilliant. Just checking.
Pick one, back yourself, JB. That's what I say.
Go and get Jill. No, I can't say it.
Jakey G. Agree with everything you've said.
But completely disagree as well.
My only disagreement is that I would like Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever, to be a lead in something. He's great. I'd like to see him do Nightwing or something. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd like.
It's not going to be Nightwing.
No, I know, but
so what else is there?
Don't say what else is, because there's loads he could be doing.
But what else is there?
I just don't want to see him as a bad guy
that he could do.
But he's taken the Michael Keaton route in that Michael Keaton stole Spider-Man Homecoming, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. He's great in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So get someone who's going to completely and utterly, just chew away the entire movie for the sequel, and so you get Jakey G.
If anyone is concerned about Jakey G, as we call him, or Gyllenhaal, or whatever you want to call him, if they're concerned about, maybe he's too nice to be a bad guy, I encourage you, anyone, including you, JB, if you've not seen it, go and watch a movie called Nightcrawler, where he plays a
paparazzi type man, isn't
paparazzi sort of videographer of crashes, violent acts, that sort of thing, in LA at night.
Yeah,
he is superb in that film, and it is forever one of the most grave injustices that he didn't get nominated for an Oscar for that, because he was superb in it.
And why do you guys want to see him as a superhero and not a villain?
Because what's he
given to you?
What's he given to you?
Just asking.
He's got star power, and I really like watching him. Right. I think he's great.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't think. I think yes, I agree. He's got star power. I don't think he is what you would call your classic leading man sort of actor. I think he sort of shies away from that a little bit. I think he will do a leading role, but in smaller sort of smaller budgeted sort of indie sort of dramas, rather than a great big Hollywood blockbuster. Because he tried that in his younger years.
Assassin's Creed.
Persia.
Oh yeah, that's Prince. Yeah,
Prince Persia. Didn't go very well.
But I don't.
That was because it was crap.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think that should tarnish him forever. Have you seen Prisoners, the film with Hugh Jackman, directed by
that guy with the thing with the stuff?
Yeah, the one I like.
I haven't, but I'm. You mean Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah, Denis Villeneuve. Yeah.
Yes, Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah, that's great. That movie.
Yes, I know. It's on my list of things I need to watch because it's him. I like him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. There's a really loud plane going overhead. Going past would be a bit worrying.
Yeah. It'd be like a Top Gun flyby. That's not.
Oh,
like
that.
Yeah.
Tower denies your flyby. Back to Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever, Jakey G. I think he'd be great as Mysterio, and I think that he could do something really interesting with the character that would turn it into less of a joke.
It's very rumoured at the minute, though, right? It's not anything. It's the thing that always happens. It's the let's put it out there, see what the internet says, and then maybe go with it.
So, does this basically mean that Batfleck will remain as Batfleck for the foreseeable future?
No, not at all. Because I know he was being eyed up, but no, that just means that Batfleck will.
Let's not fall down that rabbit hole today.
No.
Okay.
Next bit of news.
But talking about Bat people,
the Bat family.
What a great
segue, a little link.
It's not my first time, JB.
Yeah.
I'll never do something that seamless again.
Yeah,
I'm so pleased everyone shined the light on it. Well done, guys. Teamwork.
Batwoman is coming to the Arrowverse.
Wow.
So in this year's crossover of the Arrowverse, which is Arrow, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and is Black Lightning in it yet?
No.
Likely to be.
No, I don't. Well, who's Black Lightning?
Lightning.
Can I get a bit more Devonshire then?
I don't think you can.
Oh my god! You see that lightning and that thunder storm?
Very good. Very good. So the character of Batwoman is coming to the Arrowverse, the CW. The quote from Stephen Amell. We're incredibly excited to announce that we'll be doing another crossover event this fall on the CW, and we'll be introducing a new character. For the very first time appearing, we'll be fighting alongside Batwoman, which is terrific. The crossover is going to make it make it to air. Going to make it to air in December. That doesn't quite read right. I need to leave right now and start filming it. That's not me. I'm not in it.
So that's going to be in the new season of Arrow then?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
So what's the event going to be called?
Don't know. Batwoman, for anyone who doesn't know, is Kathy Kane?
Yes.
Kane? Something Kane.
Kate
Kane.
Kate Kane.
Yeah. Red-haired, lesbian, Bat family aficionado. No, I don't know.
Why
That's the
not
wrong
say
word.
lesbian like that?
Because she is. That's part of her storyline.
Yeah, okay.
It's important in the storyline.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Okay.
It
I'm
is.
judging you right now.
Because she has a relationship with Captain Sawyer.
Yes.
Who is the police chief. It's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be great. Casting is key. They've got to get the casting right. And I would prefer, if I'm honest with you, an unknown. Because if it's an unknown, there's no baggage that comes with it.
It will be generic, beautiful CW person. You know how all CW actors are generically beautiful?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are.
You know, you can't be annoyed at them because they're just pretty people. But
the woman that plays Laurel, she's hot.
What is this Laurel Yanny thing?
Laurel Yanny?
Yeah, what's that all about?
What are we talking about?
Oh, well, you guys have missed that then, because it's all over the internet. Someone hears Yanny and someone hears Laurel.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that. I think it says it in different ways in different clips. So some people will hear Laurel and some people will hear Yanny, depending on what they listen to.
They're different words.
And nothing matters.
Okay, cool. So Batwoman, we happy about this?
Very much so.
Yeah, I think so. Might keep me tuned into Arrow.
Yeah.
Is it a wig that she wears? Or is it her real hair?
I think she has red hair, but right. I think she wears a long red wig.
I was going to say, okay, fine, yeah. Okay.
She's quite striking, isn't she? Because she's all black and then she's got that red hair and the red symbol.
She's got very pale skin as well, which I wonder if is
part of it,
makeup or just part of it.
Yeah.
Great. Every time I read it was a while back now, but the Batman crossover with the Bat family,
it was Detective Comics, wasn't it?
Night of the Monster Men, I think it was, and she was quite a key character in that.
Yeah.
And she's been a very key character, I think, in the Rebirth Bat family sort of ongoing titles. So, yeah, great. Let's have some of that. That'd be good. And again, though, that's teasing. Or we might do Batman one day, but we're just going to do Batwoman for now. We won't give you too much too soon.
Well, they've already done Gotham, so they're doing early Batman.
Well, and in actual fact, Superman has appeared in Supergirl.
Yes.
So Superman exists in this universe. They've talked about Bruce Wayne, I think, and
Batman,
haven't they?
Yeah.
So he's there. They're just not bringing him in yet, because I think it would. If you bring in Batman and you get it wrong, the internet would explode.
Batman's expensive as well.
Well, absolutely.
Whereas Batwoman, you don't need anything other than
her.
her. Yeah. Batman has everything that comes with him. He has a plane. He has a cave. He has a car. He has all the gadgets.
Yes. She has the gadgets as well.
Yeah,
but she doesn't. Yeah, you can do her on more of a budget than you can Batman.
However, the costume is key, and I'm going to turn my laptop around and show you. I want that red to come through so bad in this costume. That's the thing it's got to be for me.
Yeah.
Well, it's part of who she is as a character. The red, her hair, the inside of her cape, the bat symbol, everything. It absolutely has to be spot on. Because it's who she is as a character,
So we're all down for this.
Yeah, and I don't even watch any of the Arrowverse shows anymore, but I would tune in for Batwoman.
And I'm wondering about this DC streaming service and whether it's all linked into that.
I hope it is. I don't know if it will be, but I hope it is. Because you're right, we had Doom Patrol announced last week, Swamp Thing before that, and Titans, and something else, which I keep forgetting. Yeah, that one. Cool, next bit of news?
Sure.
Last bit of news, Daredevil Season 3, it's looking very likely that Bullseye is going to be in Season 3.
Good. Now, I did a little bit of a question on Twitter about this a couple of weeks back, and I said, so if Bullseye does show up in Daredevil Season 3, do you want costume, or do you want Scar that's a Bullseye? And someone gave a great suggestion, actually, which I think is probably the way they'll go. What about a Bullseye tattoo? What do you want out of those three options?
Costume.
Actually, potentially you could have four, because you could have a mix of all of it, basically.
Yeah. Costume.
You want a costume.
Yeah.
You want the traditional Marvel comic costume, blue with white bits and a blue hood with a white bullseye on it.
Absolutely.
100%?
100%.
Final offer.
Final offer.
JB, what do you want?
Do you care?
Good.
I don't really care.
No, I don't care either.
No, I thought you did. You
I know. Thank you. Yeah.
Goodness me.
But I've checked out Daredevil. I mean, have you watched? You haven't got Netflix. You haven't seen any of them.
Netflix?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
We had that conversation. Was it in the office? Where was it the other day? We had that conversation. Someone was saying something. You just turned to me and went, "Yeah." It was in a meeting. I think
yeah,
it was in a meeting.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, someone said something in a meeting about, "Oh, it's a show on Netflix," and JB just turned to me and went, I haven't got Netflix. Like he always does.
Check it out. I'm keen for this. I want to see Daredevil season 3, and I'd like to see Bullseye come in. I don't think I want the costumes. I think it could be a little bit too cheesy.
No, I want all the costumes. Comic book accurate characters, please.
Comic book accurate characters, fine, but updated for the 21st century.
Okay.
I don't want blue spandex.
You got a sort of red spandex.
No, we don't. We have Kevlar.
We'll do that, but for
Kevlar.
Do that, but for Bullseye.
Really?
It is Kevlar.
All right. I don't know what probably is, but it just makes me
fine.
chuckle.
But I also want a Bullseye tattoo underneath. If he's got like a Kevlar.
He wants a Bullseye tattoo.
Yeah. It'd be a Bullseye tattoo right now.
And just over one eye.
Yes.
So that goes in and out. It'd be like who's the guy from Last Action Hero? The guy that's in Game of Thrones. Charles Dance is in that, isn't he? He's got a red eye. Has he got a bullseye eye, or has he changed it?
No, he's got a smiley face eye.
I thought he changed it to be
probably.
But like him, this is what you want. Yeah. Is that the end of the news?
I think so. Let's move on before we slip into another tangent.
Nerdscene.
Nerdscene.
I've seen 13 Reasons Why Season 2, Episode 1, and last night Episode 2 was on, but I was watching stuff on my phone, which can give you an indicative review of what I thought of Episode 1. It's fine.
Okay, James, you have to sit this one out because you haven't seen it because it's a Netflix show. Sorry, man.
I'm tapping out. See you later.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first season, but I've forgotten everything. And when I started watching Season 2, Episode 1, I was like, who's that? What's the difference? What's going on? What's the relationship there? I need to recap Season 1.
Yeah.
But I was enjoying what I was seeing so far in Season 2. Maybe not as much as I thought I would.
I think that the thing is, Season 1 had this very specific mystery which was unveiled throughout all 13 episodes. Mm-hmm. And that was its journey. And now Season 2's come in and it's like, well, actually, there were gaps. And it's like, I feel like I know it's all manufactured, but I feel like it feels falsely manufactured to develop more content.
Wasn't Season 1 based on a book?
Yes.
So is Season 2 based on the sequel to the book, or is it just...
No idea.
See, I'll just say that you have these groundbreaking shows because they are based on a book, and then they take elements and try to fill it. And that's why Season 2 and 3 and 4, even if they go that far, it's just never...
It's diluted, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a show that I watched a while ago.
I can give you two right off
Big
the top
Little
of my
Lies?
head.
Oh, yeah, that's Season 2.
That was going to be one.
Great.
That was... I mean,
you told me to watch that, and I did,
so awesome. Yeah, I did.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at you in disgust because I told you to watch that.
Yeah, and I thought,
this podcast.
yeah, and do you know what happened? I went, Ben suggested it. It's probably rubbish, and then JB told me, and I was like, oh, I better watch that.
It's because you like a lot more things than I do.
That is further evidence that I've been bullied on this podcast. Thank you. I've just made a mental note of that. So Steve Hustwaite. The other thing I can tell you, it's a friend of ours from work.
Evil laugh.
Oh, I'm so enjoying being mean to you recently.
The other book I can tell you about that when it goes away from the book, it dilutes itself. Is Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
As the seasons went on, it veered further and further away from the books, and for some people, like this guy sat opposite us, JB, right? It wasn't as good as it was when it started. So there you go.
I also there's a bit. This is spoilers. Apologies for 13 Reasons Why. If you haven't seen the first season, I'm going to spoil one little thing now.
Just check the episode timestamps, guys.
He's got a new girlfriend at the beginning of episode 1.
In season 2, yeah.
In season 2, and I don't buy it in any way whatsoever. It doesn't work. There's no chemistry. They have no. It's just wrong in every way. I believe.
Sure. I mean, if I remember correctly, at the end of season 1, didn't he sort of realise that she was another person in crisis who needed help?
Yes.
And no one was helping her, and he went to offer help, and now 5 months later, this relationship is built out from it. Yeah.
If they had the show start and they were really good friends,
right,
had become good friends again because they were in the past, I'd be fully on board. Mm-hmm. But I don't like. It's just that doesn't interest me. So when that happens on screen, I'm like, I just don't buy it. I'm out of the show because it's not realistic.
Well, I'm gonna keep tuning in. I'm gonna finish off episode 1 probably tonight. Actually, whilst I'm time stamping this, and I'll try episode 2 and see how I get on.
The Italian likes it. I think we're going to have it on in the house, but I'm going to be at the same time doing my other thing that's on Nerdscene. It's playing Hogwarts Mysteries. Have you guys seen this game?
No.
It's a phone game.
I'm aware that it came out.
Can I just ask, are you addicted?
Yeah. It's a Harry Potter phone game. It's set in between the Fantastic Beasts series and the Harry Potter series.
Is it free?
Yeah.
Do you have to pay money?
No.
For anything?
No. You might just have to wait, because if your energy runs out, then you have to wait for it to fill up.
So you're paying for it?
No.
Can you buy your energy back up?
Internal currency. I mean, you can spend money, but I'm not going to do that because that's crazy. But
can you upgrade your wands?
Yeah, and your clothes, and you can choose what house you're in. And yeah, it's great. It's really, really fun. It's just a phone game, but it's really fun.
Is there an underlying story to the whole thing?
Yes, there is, yes. Cursed vaults and mysterious things going on.
A Slytherin, a bunch of
jerks.
Bad guys.
You can be Slytherin if you want.
Well, maybe I could.
What house am I?
Ravenclaw.
Of course I am.
What house would you be, James? Clock's ticking, mate.
All right.
I wanted an immediate answer. Really.
I think you might be a Hufflepuff.
If you don't know off the top of your head, then yeah.
I'd probably be with a claw.
You'd be a claw.
Yeah.
Ravenclaw.
I'd be a Hufflepuff, I think.
Yeah, you're definitely a Hufflepuff.
Definitely
Yeah.
Hufflepuff.
And the other
we'll
thing,
know where he would be.
I'm Ravenclaw, mate. I'm Ravenclaw.
No, you'd be Slytherin.
No, I'm fully. I've been sorted on.
I suspect the Italian.
Oh, have you
would
done
be
it? Have you
Slytherin.
done that? Of course you have.
I suspect the Italian would be Slytherin.
Oh yeah, she's Slytherin through and through. Yeah,
Definitely.
Last thing I'm going to talk about. I've been saying that we've been catching up because Mission Impossible 6 is coming out.
Yeah.
I wanted the Italian to have seen some of the Mission Impossibles.
Yeah.
A few weeks back, we were at my parents' house and we watched Mission Impossible 4. She enjoyed it, so at home we watched Mission Impossible 5, which she really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So she's like, "Oh, well, maybe we'll try the other ones." So we watched.
She's doing it in reverse, but in the wrong order.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've seen 4 and 5, and then we watched 3.
Okay.
Because it sort of leads into it, and she was like, "Oh, the 3's alright. It's pretty good. It's not really as fun as 4 and 5. It's got a real serious tone to it."
Mm-hmm. The bad guy in 3, Philip Seymour Hoffman's character, is fantastic.
Yeah, he's horrid.
Yeah, but again, it's typical J.J. Abrams because it's a mystery box.
What
is the rabbit's
foot? Yeah, exactly.
You'll never know.
Exactly. Right. 3 is fine. I enjoyed it. It's good, and it definitely brought the series back. But it's not as good as 4 and 5, in my opinion. 4 and 5 are really fun. I think Simon Pegg's inclusion is great because he gives that. He's us.
Is that light relief?
He was
he is the light relief,
but not a big character.
Yeah, he's in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, he was the guy in the chair in 3, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm. So then we went and watched Mission Impossible 1.
Oh God, I cannot wait for this.
I've got to remember one. Isn't that about some chemical?
Czech Republic.
Is that the chemical?
No, that's the second one.
Is it?
The Mission Impossible one is the list of agents in Europe that is going to go onto the black market
and he has to steal it from the CIA. Yeah. And I love Mission Impossible 1. It really, it was one of the movies in my youth that I loved. 96 it came out.
So I saw it twice in the cinema.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good. Wow. The Italian, about halfway through, just looked at me and went, "This is boring. There's nothing happening." I was like, "Oh, you're ruining my favourite thing." And I get why she doesn't like it.
Very well.
It hasn't aged well. It's dated in terms of technology. It's dated in terms of pacing. There's a lot of just conversations. The action in it is nothing like the modern action.
No.
And the CGI doesn't look good
But
either.
can I just ask, is the modern action a little bit over the top?
Absolutely.
So we mentioned for the new Mission Impossible coming out that Tom Cruise is on a motorbike. I don't know what speed he's going at. But he hits a car. He is not wearing a helmet. So I'm thinking safety first. He just kind of rolls and then he's up ready to go. I mean,
they were talking about Tom Cruise. They had a listener question about Tom Cruise on the Weekly Planet pod this week. And someone said, "Will Tom Cruise live forever or will he die in a stunt on one of his movies?" I'm firmly in the camp that Tom Cruise is going to discover something and live forever.
No, he's going to hurt himself.
That guy is never going to die, ever.
He's great. And so Mission Impossible 1, we saw it to the end, but she wasn't that pleased. But to be fair, the first third is all set in Prague.
Yes.
So the whole way through, I'm like, we went there, we walked across there, we went to there. And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, that's pretty good."
I like the first Mission Impossible film, and I will watch it if it's on TV, because I like the set pieces in it, like the opening set piece before the credits is great because you realise this is a serious Mission Impossible
film.
Yeah. I really like the mission that goes wrong in Prague. I really like the
CIA stuff.
The CIA heist. And I really like the train helicopter chase thing, which is great. Everything wrapped around that is so-so.
Yeah.
And, you could tell John Voight was a wrong one from the very start.
Yeah, the moment you see him,
Whatever.
And then so she was like, this is dull. I was like, okay, well, I don't think Mission Impossible 2 is very good. But I showed her the trailer and she went, that's more like it. Let's watch that. So we haven't yet, but...
So that's next.
Yeah, I like the order we've watched it in.
So you've
4, 5, 3, 1.
3, 1, 2. That is so bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's the end of my nerd scene. What have you guys been watching?
Have you guys caught up with Westworld Season 2 yet?
Nope.
I didn't watch last night's.
Okay, I watched last night. I'm fully up to date on Season 2. I think I am potentially one more episode away from checking out.
What?
Really?
I am not enjoying it as much as I thought I would.
All right.
Why?
Certainly not as much as Season 1. I'm not invested anymore in these characters because they're all shitbags. Every single one of them is an arsehole in some way. There is a bit of a redemption story possibly with one character which is sort of interesting, but they're doing the thing in Game of Thrones because the cast list is so big that sometimes they're missing an episode with certain characters to fill you in on where the other ones are and what's happening. Now there was some interesting stuff on last night's episode which I won't go into because it'll be spoilers for you, Nate, and you, James.
Yep.
And it was kind of harkening back a little bit to the first season, which was interesting, but the whole thing just doesn't seem as well handled as Season 1. It feels like they're not selling out, but just like they are believing their own hype a little bit too much.
What? I'm just trying to remember what last week's episode was. Was that episode 4? Where we're trying to... Have you seen episode 4?
No, I haven't. I've seen 2, sorry. Okay,
so we can't talk about it. But I thought that was one of the best episodes I've ever seen in Westworld.
Okay, hang on. Let me just remind myself. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Nate, when will you be catching up?
I'm not sure, mate. To be honest, I'm sorry.
Oh, so are you a little bit tapped out as well?
I'm not tapped out. I just haven't had I was talking to Ben about this the other day. I don't have the energy to sit down and commit to something that requires a lot of thought at the minute. Added to the fact that I'm getting very much back into reading. I have ebbs and flows of reading the books, and I've got a stack of stuff I want to read, and I've found my love for reading again. So any spare time I have, I'm normally nosing a book. So. Okay,
yeah, James. Episode 4, the one you're talking about, was last week's. Yeah. That was great. But following up with this week's, I didn't think it was a worthy follow-up at all. At all.
I can imagine. I know what you're saying about the fact that there's loads of big characters going on, but I quite like all the different stories. So the fact that we've got Dolores who wants to almost take over the world. You've got Bernard just struggling with what's going on with him. Hashtag no spoilers yet.
Yeah, no.
And I've forgotten Thandie Newton's character, Maeve.
Maeve.
And she just wants to get back to her daughter. So that's quite a human type of thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah. Maeve was the focus of last night's episode.
Yeah.
And the woman who plays her, Thandie Newton.
Thandie Newton from Mission Impossible 2. Yeah.
However, we always bring it back to Mission Impossible.
Can't help it, yeah. It's the heart of the world, isn't it? Mission
Impossible. She was great in last night's episode, but I just thought the story itself was just a bit, well, where are you going with this now? What are you doing now? Yeah. You're introducing more people. What now? What? Seriously, what? I don't know. I'm not so sure. I'm going to watch next week's, but it better blow my socks off is all I can say. Because if it doesn't, I might be...
Are you going to catch up by next week?
No, not by next week, no.
Okay, so we won't have to talk about this.
We'll talk about it maybe when it wraps up.
Offline.
Ben's not here next week anyway.
So, no, I'm not. No. I'm away next week.
Really? That's upsetting.
Yeah.
Is it?
No.
So I've got one last bit on Nerdscene. I listened to the Skip to the End podcast, and as part of their section Skip to the Recommend, Gemma from the podcast recommended a show on Channel 4, which you'll hate, Nate, so don't even listen at this point, but it's called True Horror. Apparently it's like 3 episodes, and it's based on people's real life encounters of supernatural things that they can't explain.
Right.
And it's got like a... they sort of recreate it with actors, like the events that happen to them. So you've got the people on the screen, the actual people sort of doing like a talking head to someone just like behind the camera. And then what they're talking about is recreated in front of you with actors. And it was... I watched episode 2 last night because episode 1 doesn't seem to be available on all 4.
Right.
And it was great. Truly great. And they said, don't watch it on your own and don't watch it in the dark. So I watched it on my own and in the dark. and I struggled to get up the stairs without running last night because I was confident that a ghost was behind me trying to kill me.
You properly cacked your whack.
I didn't properly cack my whack, as you call it, but
I love that. I have to say that should be trademarked. JB,
copyright. I've got 100 years on that, baby.
Hey, bringing it back. Nice.
No, I had a great time watching it, and I've recommended to my daughter, who really likes horror stuff as well, to watch it. And I'm going to watch episode 3 maybe tonight. Okay. It was great, really, really good. I think it's only like 3 episodes long, and as I said, only 2 and 3 are available at the moment.
Very last thing before we get onto the review of Deadpool 2, unless you have anything to add, Nerdscene.
The only thing I've caught up on Silicon Valley, which I am really enjoying, but because I find it funny with the Guilfoyle and Dinesh banter that they have.
Yeah, they hate each other, don't they? They love each other, but they hate each other.
But it's just getting a little bit samey for me now.
They found the formula and they're working on it.
Yeah, right. I like it because it's got geek stuff in it, and I can go like I'm watching it with my wife, and I was like, "Did you get that?" And she's like, "No." I was like, "That's because they're using agile development."
Oh, nice.
Yeah. A lot of the things that they encounter, it's pretty much.
I'm in Sprint too.
Think of it as like The Office when it came out. It was like, who works in Office? Oh yeah, that sort of thing happens all the time.
Yeah.
Well, Silicon Valley is very relevant if you work in an IT department because things that they are struggling with or they're trying to develop to release, it's just the exact same stuff that we see. But there's a comedy slant around.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, do police watch cop shows? My mum's a nurse. She won't watch anything like Casualty, anything like that. She's just like, that's wrong.
Would she watch ER though? Because ER was ER is different gravy.
It's character drama, right?
Yeah. But it's much more hard hitting. But if you know all the stuff, like I want 2 drips of this and whatever it is, it's Does she watch the real stuff then when it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm interested.
Okay.
Last thing, I was going to say, I watched Evil Genius. You suggested it, Ben. It was great. Yes. Yeah, really good, really interesting. What a town full of shitbags. Just awful people. Everyone and everything they do is awful. Truly horrid people in every single way.
Yes, absolutely.
No redeeming features whatsoever, and very rare that I'll say this, but thank God some of them are gone.
I have to agree, actually, because some of those people were the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about some of the FBI and the police sort of dealings with it? Because they sort of shone a little bit of a light on maybe they didn't do this in the right way.
I think a lot of the problems were that there were many departments trying to work on it.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's where they came. And they all seemed like decent human beings, the FBI and the police, state police. I don't think anyone purposely did anything wrong. They all wanted the same outcome, but because they were pulling in different directions, I think that's what caused...
Sorry. I'm just, pulling in different directions. I'm just thinking about spoilers for the show, but there is a decision has to be made by the county.
Oh, yeah.
Surgically decapitate a dead person's body to get a piece of evidence off.
I don't want this.
No,
in my life.
Man, it's brutal.
It's
you
real.
don't see it, but my God,
it happened in America in 2003. It's a real thing. It's a documentary. Anyway,
when you get Netflix, JB, maybe you'll check it out.
Right, you guys have got 15 minutes to blow my mind with Deadpool 2. Bear in mind, A, I haven't seen it. B, I didn't see it because I didn't want to see it. And C, I know all the spoilers because I've looked it up.
Right.
Go.
Oh, God.
Okay, so let's just say then, full spoilers from the beginning of Deadpool 2. If you haven't seen it, go away, watch it, then come back.
How bad does Juggernaut look?
Actually, he is fairly comic book accurate and pretty good.
JB?
I'm not going to lie.
Well, I didn't know that Juggernaut was going to be in it.
No.
I don't know what Juggernaut looks like from a character perspective.
Yeah.
But he was big. He was nasty. He had a big helmet on. I thought it looked all right.
Cool. That's my only question.
They skipped the bit where, Juggernaut's thing is that once he moves, you cannot stop him. That seemed to be cut out. They seemed to get rid of that. But anyway, getting back to the actual movie itself, I liked Deadpool 2. But I did not love Deadpool 2. I thought that they took an idea that they did very, very well in Deadpool, and they have made it very actiony. They've tried to keep it as comedic, and I think they've lost a lot of the effectiveness of their comedy storytelling in this movie. I don't think it's as funny as the first one.
Has it lost its heart? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, JB, what did you think?
There were some funny bits in it.
But not all the jokes landed.
Name one.
Oh, right now?
I'm putting you under pressure. Well, then you can't be true. What you just said.
Right but there were definitely times.
It's another black mark on his name.
Yeah,
it's almost like he shouldn't be podcasting.
I almost think so. It was. Ben's doing an action that we.
Yeah, he's giving us an international symbol, isn't
yeah.
he?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Again, a bit like it's a theme. Deadpool is they're trying to be as grotesque and as insulting as you can possibly be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it, we watched it, and we were sat on the back row, no touching, near the back row, and we looked at the people coming in to watch the film, and they were all middle-aged men.
They were mostly all male people.
Yeah, so this is this isn't a family movie by any stretch of the imagination.
No matter what it tells you, either, because it tells you it's a family film, but it's not.
I hear that the not just the violence, but the gore is turned up even more than the first film.
Yeah, to a point. I think it's...
Yeah, I mean, there is a scene where Juggernaut picks up Deadpool and rips him in half.
Right.
And that then leads to a scene after that where Deadpool's regrowing the bottom half of himself, where he's got baby legs and a baby penis.
And that is funny.
I thought that was amusing, but not as funny as some other people.
Hang on a minute. This is coming from the man who was beside me laughing out loud.
I wasn't laughing at everything.
But yes, you were. Yes, you were. When they were looking at his little willy.
There was definitely
the point.
times in the theatre where there were a lot of people laughing,
and
I wasn't. And there were definitely times where James was laughing, and I chuckled, and other people were not.
Yeah, you hit it hard. I don't know whether I was being stupid, and I didn't want to say this as we walked out of the movie, but the start of the Deadpool film, was it trying to reenact a James Bond film? The way it starts?
Okay, so let's get into it a bit. So the movie starts...
Because I thought that was really good.
The movie starts, he's lying on a bunch of barrels of gasoline, basically, and he looks depressed, and he flips up a cigarette or a match or something and blows himself up, okay? And then it cuts back to how it got to that point, and it sort of goes back a week earlier or 2 weeks earlier, whatever it is. And Deadpool's international, he's taking down bad guys, he's chopping off heads and then kicking them into other guys, he's being Deadpool at his most Deadpool. Gets to the point where he's got to go back to Vanessa because they've been together for 1 year today. Vanessa? That's her name,
yeah,
right?
it's Vanessa, yeah.
And something awful happens, and again, spoilers, but she is killed.
Yes,
and she is killed through what Deadpool or Wade perceives as his actions.
Yeah.
And the second that she dies, he sort of loses it completely. He's even more sort of unhinged than he normally is. He wants to kill himself, but he can't.
Well, this is what he's trying to do, isn't it?
Yeah,
he wants to be with Vanessa in the...
he sort of has a vision where Vanessa says, your heart's not in the right place, so you can't stay here. And then he takes that, anytime someone like Cyclops talks about his heart not being in the right place, he takes that, that's a sign that I've got to go with that guy. So the story sort of moves along in a really random way. I didn't like it that much, if I'm honest with you. He turns up, he sort of goes off to the X Mansion. There's a very funny cameo in there. Actually,
that's all of the X-Men and Hugh Jackman's Shadow, right?
Yeah.
But that's not actually filmed with them. They green screened that in.
Oh, of course, I'm not surprised.
I'm absolutely not surprised. Does that matter?
No, I don't know.
I didn't notice that it was green screened.
No, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it's fun that they were there because again, he was going, Christ, this mansion is empty. Why can't we get one more X-Men character in there? Why can't Fox dump up the money, cue those guys, and then Beast slams the door shut? It's quite funny.
Yeah.
But basically, they go off and they go and do an X-Men mission, X-person mission, what you want to call it, to save Ricky Baker from Hunt for the Wilder People, who's living in an Essex sort of incorporated house.
Oh yeah,
where the schoolmaster is basically the worst human being in the world. He's torturing mutants.
Is it Mr. Sinister or is it not?
No, it's not Mr. Sinister. I think Mr. Sinister is just called like a schoolmaster or something. But he is. Hey, that's a bad guy.
Right,
he might as well have a twirly mustache.
Okay, yeah. He's wearing like a black cloak or something, or Okay.
So basically, this guy's torturing this young mutant. Russell. That's his name. Not Ricky Baker.
Fire Fist.
That's the chap.
Yeah, we can call him Russell.
And Deadpool shows up and he's like, actually, this kid's being tortured, I'm going to kill everyone. And then he gets taken down and sent to prison. And that is when Cable shows up. Now, that is where I will say this movie did really, really well. Cable does one thing I don't like, and that is use the swear C word.
Right.
Which we will not utter on this podcast. Don't say it, James. Because there is absolutely no need for him to say it. He says it insulting Deadpool, and it is just, there's no need for it. There's no need for it at all. It's too far. But other than that, he is fantastic as Cable. The technovirus looks brilliant. His power set isn't too great. All right, he's not 6'8" tall, but you know they talk about that in the movie.
Right.
He's really good. So he shows up to kill Russell because Russell is going to turn into a bad guy after he kills the schoolmaster, and it takes him down a path of destruction where he turns into like a huge mutant killing, person killing bad guy.
Right.
So he kills Cable's family. Cable comes back in time to stop that from happening by killing him as a kid. It's very Terminator.
And then he has a time machine at the end, and it rewrites everything.
Yeah, but
so that was another one of my problems actually.
Go on.
Okay, yeah,
no, I'm just going to say that I think, shock. I was going to say, I mean, I quite like the story. I thought it was okay, and I think the fact that Deadpool and Cable had a similar storyline in that, you know, they were taking people down. They are quite indestructible, but the people that they love are not, and that is their weakness.
So you get parallels there.
So you've got that, and that's why at the end you can see why they reluctantly became friends,
right,
and
okay.
Cable makes the decision that after saving Russell from his future, that he then's going to stay with Deadpool.
Right.
So basically,
that's me done benzing again.
Yeah. Vanessa basically talks to Wade about let's start a family, let's have kids because kids are the future. So then when she dies and she's talking to him in some sort of weird afterlife where like focus on the kid, maybe you ought to save the kid, nudge nudge, wink wink. So Deadpool then takes it upon himself, well, that kid means Russell, I have to save him at all costs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Deadpool wants to save a kid. Cable wants to save his kid in the future. And that's the driving force of the story. And it's poorly handled, in my opinion. It's not done very, very well.
But you liked it, JB.
It was all right. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think I could link the story together. There were really, really funny bits in it. I really liked Domino. I thought that was funny.
She was fantastic as well.
Really,
actually.
really cool.
Really good.
And yeah, it was. It just got. Sometimes it just got a bit too much.
Yes.
I mean,
that's how I felt about Deadpool 1.
I like the laddish humour. Don't get me wrong. And you know, Ben and I said at the start of the film, I really hope that they haven't done all the funny stuff in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I think they did
pretty much.
Most of it.
Right.
There was a couple of DC references that kind of repeated themselves, which was you could funny, you know, dark, you know, what you.
Oh yeah, so dark. You should be in the DC universe.
Yeah, that was in the trailer.
And then he mentions about Batman as well. I think.
Well, there was I can't remember exactly what the line was, but there's something like we're going to do something as if both of our mums were called Martha or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what it was.
And it was just like, oh come on, we're past this now. Be better.
Yeah.
Now, I will say some of the action set pieces were great. So before the credits, when Deadpool is killing people around the world, that was all really well done, really well handled.
Hang on, before you go on with that though, are action sequences ever bad anymore? I feel like the movie industry has got a language now and has got to a point where the audience just accept it, and if it's not good, it almost doesn't go.
What about the action sequences in The Mummy, 2017, Tom Cruise? They're pretty crap, aren't they?
I guess so. They're probably shot badly, but yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So
okay.
I think in this, the action scene before the James Bond-like credit sequence, which is kind of funny, are great. The chase sequence where X-Force are trying to take down the convoy so they can get Russell is both very funny because it basically wipes out
all of them. Do you know Brad Pitt's in that scene?
Yes, yeah, I saw him. Yeah,
he's the Invisible Man.
Yes, that's right.
And it's him. It's actually like now. It's not like
yeah. Sorry, yeah, it's good. Basically, every single one of them, apart from Deadpool and Domino, die.
Right.
Every single one of them.
Thought they might, yeah.
But don't worry, because later on, Deadpool comes back with his Cable stolen time machine and saves Peter, so that's fine. Nice. But everyone else dies horrifically, and it's amusing the way they go. Plus, the actual chase where they're trying to stop Cable from getting to Russell, and they're trying to get onto the convoy, and Domino's power set really comes into play in that. Yeah. It's really well handled. It's really well done. That I will say, well done to them.
It seems to me that the reason why the first film for me, well, why I can understand the first film, and probably why this one is popular, is its anarchy. It allows audiences to watch something where nothing matters, there are no rules, anything can happen, and that's true of both plot and events within the action.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's with Deadpool, you get that 18+ rated superhero.
Yes.
So where you have with X-Men or anything like that, you don't see any blood, guts, and gore.
Yeah.
You probably do see that with a little bit from a Batman type-esque film.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's darker. But maybe that's the MCU's extreme Batman type character. Just doesn't care. What he does care about is Vanessa. What he doesn't realise is that all the anarchy that he's causing is gonna, if they find out where he is and who he is, that his biggest weakness is her.
It's got to follow him home. Yeah. Actually, it's quite interesting what you said, though, Nate, with the fact that anything that happens in the Deadpool movie doesn't matter, because the entire movie gets fixed in the mid-credit sequence. The entire movie driving force is Vanessa dying and what happens to Deadpool after that. So when he gets hold of Cable, because Cable sacrifices his one jump home to put a coin that he gave to Vanessa on their anniversary, which is the thing that he got on their first date,
right?
Some kind of arcade coin in his chest, which is where they put like this anti-mutant power set collar on him, so his mutant powers don't work, and he gets shot through the heart, and that kills him in the actual story.
Right.
So then Cable sacrifices jump, goes back in time, puts this coin there, so when it comes back into the present moment, the coin blocks the bullet, so he doesn't die. There's some problems around that with the time travel thing.
Everything you've done there is you've written a convoluted way to have that work.
Yes.
So you can just write around that.
And then, of course, as well, in the end credit scene, there are two. They're both very funny. No, there are three, I bet. Oh, no, hang on. Okay. There are two, but Deadpool changes three things in the two scenes.
Okay.
So the first thing he does is he saves Vanessa.
Okay.
Okay? Which basically makes the rest of Deadpool 2 a moot point because it wouldn't have happened because Vanessa didn't die.
And I pulled that in, and Ben mentioned about that, and I said, well, Thanos can do that because he's got the time stone, so he can do exactly the same if you wanted to.
Yep.
So does that mean Infinity War was a bit cack?
I agree. Infinity War didn't happen. Yeah. I think when we come to the fourth movie, there'll be a whole. You're absolutely right, JB.
But
there'll be a whole bit.
Thanos' glove changes the universe. This is saving one person.
Okay.
So I made that reference, and we're holding hands now because we love each other.
Well, I do. I agree to disagree.
When you don't love him.
What's the second thing he does? The second thing he does is he goes into the Wolverine Origins universe.
Oh yes,
and
I heard
he
this.
shoots
a version of
original
himself.
Deadpool in the head. When I say original Deadpool, I mean X-Men's Origins original Deadpool, the one that they got really wrong.
Yeah.
Shoots that guy in the head and sort of makes a joke out of it. The third thing he does is he goes into the real world. He stands behind Ryan Reynolds, who's just finished reading the script for Green Lantern, who then turns around and sort of says to himself, "You're about to hit the big time, kid." Cue his brains getting blown out. He falls forward and Deadpool goes, "You're welcome, Canada," and walks off screen. That had me in stitches.
Okay.
You would have hated it.
But I'm done with the Green Lantern is shit jokes.
Yes.
I'm so done with it.
Yes.
And Ryan Reynolds isn't done with it because he is embarrassed by it. So he carries on that joke constantly.
Well, he has to, because if you're embarrassed by something, you try. And a way to not get mocked anymore is to mock yourself.
Yeah, to own it, absolutely. Because he was on the Graham Norton show, and it even came up then, and he was making a joke about it then.
Yeah. Warner Brothers even tweeted him the other day and said, "Okay, Van City Reynolds, it's time to give up the ring," and gave not Abin Sur.
No, it
wasn't Abin Sur. What's the squid like? No, the bird like.
Salak.
Whatever.
No, you mean carry on.
Basically, a picture of that guy going, "It's time to give up the ring," Van City Reynolds, and then he made a joke back about some kind of contraceptive ring.
Yeah,
and it was very Deadpool.
Right, but he's trying to epitomise the Deadpool character in himself as Ryan Reynolds sometimes, isn't he?
Oh yes. At times, I don't know where the line is drawn, if I'm honest with you. Yeah. I really don't.
I must admit, I think the end credits for me, I was just kind of like, has he really done this? What's really happening now? I think...
And what Nate said is true. Nothing has really happened because nothing matters in this universe. Because it doesn't fit in with anything.
It's kind of mocking all of the superhero elements.
And is that what Deadpool is in the comics?
Not that much.
Okay.
I think there are a couple of quite extreme examples, but they're like Elseworlds. They're like not in the normal continuity. Like Deadpool kills the Marvel universe.
Yeah, he doesn't really interact that much with the normal
villains,
heroes.
It's become more prevalent as time's gone on. But yeah, initially, no, he was more of an X-Force, an X-Men type character, and he does his own thing. But it's all spun out of him breaking the fourth wall and talking to the audience, which he does in the comics. But again, that's grown and grown and grown as you said. Oh, there's a good about the TV show. There's a good thing. We'll keep doing that. And diluting it. And I think that the movies are. I can't say the movies because I've only seen the first one. But the first one, definitely, and from what you said about the second one, is just how much of that can we turn up? Because that's the thing that people like.
Isn't that we've mentioned it already? The American Pie films, the types of 1, 2, pretty good. I can't remember 3, and then there was just a load of cack after that. They did Road Trip, which is again the same theme as American Pie, but this time they're on a road trip, so it was a little bit different, and it was still pretty cool. So I would like to know what they're all walking off at the end. They've got this potential new team. What's going to happen? I love the Cable character. I thought that was really good.
I don't think we'll probably ever see Josh Brolin as Cable again, not unless they are paying him an awful lot of money, because he has now become the biggest star in the world with this movie and with when the character who played Thanos, I'm thinking that little Infinity War.
Well, I mean, whether he's the biggest actor in the world,
he's up there right now.
I mean,
he could currently command a multi-million-pound fee.
He's smashing out MCU characters very well.
James, score it quickly, and then I'm going to read out some listener feedback because we've got quite a bit, and I want to get through all of it.
What am I scoring out of 5?
Whatever score you like.
I would like to score it out of 5, and I would probably give it a 2.75.
Oh, 2 3/4 out of 5.
Right, okay, cool.
I'll take that. In which case, I'm going to score it out of 10, and I'm going to give it 5.
Yeah.
It's Chomari, by the way. It's the Green Lantern.
That's the one.
Can I just ask?
I knew you'd got it wrong, but I didn't want to say you got it wrong because I know Green Lantern is your thing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, would you watch it again, Ben?
With my son, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
With you, 100%. With him, never.
No, I would never take him either because he would make me feel uncomfortable because I knew he wouldn't be enjoying it.
But that's why I didn't go sit there and roll his eyes so much it would be like bowling balls hitting.
Ben and I knew this.
Yeah, and
we knew this, and you should just have been open with us.
Well, I know.
When we finish the podcast, we'll just take this off air and we'll have a little chat.
Okay, a little cuddle. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read some listener
feedback.
Back on.
Okay. Oh my god.
Matt Young, which is at My Design. Hey, you should try out their t-shirts. They're great. He said it was painfully mediocre. The first one had a rascally scrappiness charm because it was lucky to get made. But as with a lot of sequels, this is a film that forgot the secret sauce that made the original work. Twice as expensive as the original and half as funny. I thought there were some great action set pieces. But for all the high points in the film, there were just so many lows. I thought Zazie Beetz was a standout. Brolin was fine, but Thanos was superior. And Reynolds said and did just what you'd expect. 6.5 out of 5. Sorry, 6.5 out of 10. 6.5 out of 5?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, because his score does not relate to what he was saying. Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, I kind of agree with all of that, really. Although I scored it lower. Or did I? Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Fantium, which is at Fantium, better than the first, and that's saying a lot because the original sets a very high bar. We loved every second of the sequel. Bill Lonergan, which is at Bill Lonergan NJ, because I think he lives in New Jersey.
Let's assume that and back ourselves. Yeah.
I had similar feelings about this as I did about Thor Ragnarok. Thoroughly enjoyed it in the theatre, but it always went for the joke, which undermined any feeling of threat, unlike the first one, which I thought had a lot more balance. Seb Reeves said, I absolutely loved it. Deadpool 2 was funny, action-packed, and wildly inappropriate in a good way. Some great scenes that were spoiled by the trailers, and there were even a few surprises. Loved it.
Some nodding coming from over JB.
We Have a Hulk Pod said, and you should listen to their review, which I don't seem to be able to download at the moment for some reason, so I'll try again. Some fantastic new additions with Domino and Cable. And then just put in parentheses, Josh Brolin heart emoji. Thought the cameos and the post-credit scene were absolutely hilarious. Still love the humour, but don't think the storyline quite lived up to the first, unfortunately. Completely agree with that last
I think
bit.
both of you have kind of echoed that,
yeah.
Jack and the Geek sort of said, it was fine. Action was great. Most of the jokes were funny. Distracted by Ricky Baker and the Deadpool novelty is starting to wear a bit thin. Not as good as the first, but still entertaining. Cable and Domino were standouts. Agree.
But I wonder if this thing that you guys, it seems to be through this, is that Deadpool is everything you expected. Domino is new and Cable is new, and that was why they were fresh and they felt good and interesting. Deadpool is doing the same stuff.
being Deadpool.
Yeah, and so maybe that's not why it's not fresh anymore. It's not quite the same, and which is why Domino and Cable stood out. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Gen X Grown Up said best credit scene ever in all caps. Jim Bob SquarePants said loved it, went in with low expectations and knew exactly what to expect from the content and liked it way more than I expected to. Had a really good time with it.
I think expectations have a huge part to play in how you feel about a movie coming out of it. I think if you're really hyped for something, you can be really let down. And I think that's probably, I would say that's why Jim Bob enjoyed that quite so much.
And I would also say we probably did that with Infinity War. We were, we enjoyed it, but we were like hyping ourselves up to we want to be completely blown away, and it probably did.
I blame this bloody podcast for that. It's all your fault, Nate. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
20th Century Geek Pod said I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a confident sequel that was funnier with better action. I agree on the action part. In my opinion, it lived up to the hype.
Cool.
It did what it said it was going to do. 22-year-old Trekkie, which is at T Trekkie. It was everything I wanted it to be. I think it was arguably better than the first. It was a little disjointed at times, but I still loved it. Those credit scenes, though, and then crying smiley face. I'm going to retweet this one because this is from someone called T'_odd, which is at Mocha616. They've got like a tweet thread, and it's too long for me to go into right now, but it's very entertaining.
Cool.
Dantooine, this is one that I was really shocked with, which is at Dan Burden 1138.
Hi Dan.
I really enjoyed more than the first. The action was better. Enjoyed the new characters. Really want to see more of Domino and Cable, but it had some real heart to it as well, which the first one did too, and that's a good thing. Plus, the end credit scene might be the best ever. I thought the heart to the story was a little bit shoehorned in.
Right.
If I'm honest with you.
Okay.
But that's just me, and I'm surprised that Dan liked it as much as he did.
I love that Dan. One of my favourite things about Dan Twain, who does often interact with us, is he's always contrary, and I love that about him. He's always like, nah, wasn't for me, or yeah, I loved it. When it's like the opposite of you, that's not true. That's not fair to say he's always like that. But you can never tell what Dan's going to think.
What Dan's going to like.
He's cool.
The other day as well, he live tweeted through James Bond, The World Is Not Enough. And because he was just watching it on Blu-ray, I think, and I interacted with a couple of the little tweets he did. That was fun. He's great. I love
what was the Bond movie on the ice? Was that Die Another Day?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's really bad.
I went to the charity premiere of that in London.
Yes, you've told me.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't want to know about it because I'm going to be jealous.
Mark, which is at Mark_outer_cryo, frequent collaborator with us at the moment, said a better movie than the first. Not as funny for me. We needed more of Terry Crews. So basically, Terry Crews, X-Force, just parachutes in and gets brutally killed.
Really funny in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes, indeed.
Comic Art Festival podcast said fun, dumb, and lots of laughs, but not as good as DP1.
Fair enough.
Agreed. New interactor with us, Ron. I cannot pronounce his last name. I'm going to back myself. Ron Prezak, which is at Kirkanano76. I'm sorry, I've butchered that to death. I'm so sorry.
Back yourself.
I will.
Ron Prezak.
Hashtag Deadpool 2 finally washed out the bad taste from The Last Jedi.
Oh God. Wow. So angry that he brings that back round.
Oh, wow.
It's December, wasn't it?
Yes. Let's not fall down that rabbit hole either.
May.
We're almost there, guys. I want to read out these last 3 tweets.
Okay.
Kevin11, which is at the Spirit84, said Deadpool 2 made me feel like I was skydiving with a high wind advisory. I mean, that's why X-Force will die.
Yeah.
I liked it more than Infinity War. It had everything. Off the charts action, hilarious, gruesome, emotional, and much more. It was the full package. Fucking awesome. I loved it.
Language, Benjamin.
I'm just reading out his tweet.
I'm going to have to bleep you out, yeah.
Bleep him out.
Yeah.
And finally, regular, irregular interactor, James Cow, which is at I Am Jack's Musings, said Deadpool promised us Cable. Deadpool 2 delivers us Cable in all his Brolin glory. 2018 is undoubtedly his year. What is a shame is that an MCU crossover wasn't established here, as I'd have loved to have seen how they realised Brolin Cable take on Brolin Thanos. 2 standout Deadpool 2 scenes, the X-Force parachute assault on and the dialed up to 11 Deadpool regeneration scene, equal parts hilarious and horrifying. I want to say a huge thank you to every single person that sent us a tweet about this movie. We really, really appreciate all your feedback. It's fantastic. And if you do want to get in touch and tell us if you agreed with us or if we're idiots, because we are literally one or the other. About Deadpool 2, you can do that by getting us on Twitter, which is twitter.com/nerdschatting, facebook.com/nerdschatting, instagram.com/nerdschatting. Send us an email, which is nerdschatting@outlook.com, and we'll be back in touch.
He totally stole my bit then. Where I normally go, Ben, how can people get in touch with us? And he just stole it.
Ben is becoming...
That's what you get for bullying me, Nate.
Wow.
He's standing up and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like WWE-ing.
Yeah, I was thinking of... Yeah, I think he's lost it a bit. We'll talk about this. I thought he smashed it. He did very well.
Yeah, he did very well, didn't he?
Yeah, he's becoming self-aware, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is. He's like a little robot.
He's improving day on day. Yeah. I mean, he was at such a low point anyway that he can only improve his abilities.
I think he's doing a fantastic job at social media.
You and I are podcasting alone next week.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be reviewing Solo. It's going to be later in the week than normal, so that we can all see it. You're away.
I'm away, but I'm going to go and see it on Thursday this week, which is my birthday, and then I'm going to record my thoughts, send them to you.
Me.
Probably back up, send them to JB as well.
James.
So, and then hopefully somehow, by the gift of magic, it will be cut into the podcast next week.
It'll be magical.
Sure.
Yeah. Should we sign off? Should we end? Should we finish?
I think we've done.
Are we done?
I don't think we can do any more this week.
You think so?
I'm tired.
I am. I need a coffee. I haven't had one at all today.
I've got to drive over to the campus now.
What?
I know.
Yeah, but I've got a meeting that you're not having to go to.
Yeah.
So I trump you. Yes, I win again.
Yeah. Oh. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.